Hi guys, long time no speak, and no speak again, and again, and again. Though it's amazing because technically, I have the time. I honestly just don't know where it's been going. Well, I can't say that. I know where some of it's been going. I've been hanging out and playing video games and messing about with my kids, and normally summer means more posting from me, but that hasn't happened either. And I just keep saying, I want to get back on here and I want to post and I miss you guys, and I do. I read posts every day, but it seems I have fallen into this awful habit the last 6 months of not responding to posts, which, by the way, is like very anxiety inducing within me. And it seems the longer I go not answering other people's posts, the less inclined I am to post, because I probably won't answer those as well, and I feel guilty because why should I, go off about what my life is doing when I'm not even given the courtesy of answering posts. So you see where my logic is going here. Anyway, so the last couple of months have been highly interesting. The ass end of June, very beginning of July, I had put in for my application of my workplace, going from temp service to being permanent there. And this was kind of done with me going, so is this going to happen? I mean, I've hit my 600-hour threshold. By that time, it was more along the lines of, 650. And my boss is like, I don't know, you want to work here? And I'm like, yeah. And he was like, okay, then I'll speak with HR. Now, this is where things got interesting, because right about this time, hubby, whose work had just been getting worse and worse and worse and worse, was pretty much practically the only man left standing there. And their idea of how to handle it was get over it. The responses to any type of question that he brought up or any situation and how is this going to be resolved was, we don't know. Oh well. He thought he actually had something in the bag. I mean, he pretty much just didn't go back. July 4th, we went out and we watched fireworks, and he was like, yeah, no. I mean, he thought he had a job in the bag. It didn't exactly work out that way. Whoops. So he spent like the next month and a half pounding pavement. He's finally got something, but, and it's quite a bit more than we were expecting, and it was just out of the blue. One of those things given me by a friend at work, first thing I did was like go up and hug her. I'm like, this place is just brilliant, thank you. I think he's going to be happy here, and I do. From everything he says about the place, he's going to be happy. Now, he did have a job a week and a half ago. To say he was jumping out of the frying pan and into the roaring nuclear volcano would be kind of an understatement. It was just a huge, huge clusterfuck of epic proportions. Well, meanwhile, my husband's going, you know what, never mind, screw you, to his workplace, thinking that he'd have something immediately to go into. Meanwhile, I'm waiting a week, 2 weeks, I say something to my boss. Third week hits, and it was just one of those days I walked in and nothing had really gone wrong. I mean, it wasn't a bad day. We had switched over to a no phone system, and new phone system had its problems. And I'd had a lot of problems with the phone system. But I thought I was doing quite well. I mean, I work in a call center, and I'm not really appreciating how now they're keeping tallies of this and tallies of that. Half the time I'm spending working on other things besides phone calls. At that time, especially. I was getting assigned emails, I was getting assigned returns, all kinds of things, which would take me off the phones. So we get this email from the boss saying, basically, your times suck, and, this should not be a continuing problem. Now, for me, I was like, what continuing problem? Because normally if there is an issue, they come and they let you know. But I'm sitting there going, okay, I'm a temp. I've been waiting for 2 or 3 weeks. And now they're saying there's an issue. Obviously, I'm not going to get hired. Well, I had everybody that day like stopping, going, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." I was just having an off day, and it was just one of those things. That email just kind of just really just drove it down for me. But I'm like, I'm trying to not, be an ass. I'm trying to keep over here and stay by myself. Little I know, that's kind of the wrong reaction. Everybody's used to me being loud. They're used to me being, laughing and, and being silly with people on the phone, or, starting conversations with the people around me, which we are allowed to do, which is awesome. And I guess that was noticed. Next thing I know, I get this Skype message from my boss going, "Can you come to my office, please?" And I was in the middle of training someone who, coincidentally enough, took over my desk a little bit later. Little did I know she would not be really that popular amongst everybody. Well, I made a joke of, I guess I'm going to go get my box, which is, the term around our workplace of, here's your box. I mean, put your stuff in. It's a bit of a joke, even when it's not a joke. And she was like, "Well, gosh, I hope not." So I walk into the boss's office, and the first thing he starts doing is explaining the email. And I'm like, okay, why is this being explained to me? He was like, look, I went and I, started to do the first round of emails. He was like, I made a mistake. He was like, I copied and pasted, and I did not pay attention when I was copying and pasting. I had like 30 of these I had to do, and I didn't want to just keep typing. And I'm like, okay. And he was like, your times are actually excellent. He was like, I'm afraid I've upset a lot of people. So if anybody has anything to say about this, let them know that I have made a mistake. And if I do have an issue with them, I will come and I will speak with them. And those that I have issues with will know who it is I have an issue with. He was like, if anybody's asking about, their job or anything like that, he was like, just tell them to go talk to TJ. But I want to let you know that the email that I sent you this morning was a mistake. And I'm like, okay. I just must have had that look like, can I go now? And he was like, and have you heard anything back from HR? I said, no. And he was like, so when did you hit your 600 hours? I'm like, about 200 hours ago. I guess word got around because I had said something along the lines of, I don't know how long, and this is to a coworker, and I might have been overheard. I don't know how long they're going to keep me here, which was my temporary company. I said, I don't know what the cap is. I know 600 is what, can move you over into a permanent position if the company wants you. But if the company doesn't really want you, they're not really looking to hire on a temp, I don't know what the cap is. And I can't see my paychecks anymore in my temporary site, so I'm not really sure what's going to happen. I might have to start looking for another job. And, then 2 hours later, I wind up in the boss's office. And he was like, so nobody's gotten in contact with you? I said, no, sir. Nobody's gotten in contact with me. He was like, okay. He's like, I know I had your resume around here somewhere. And I said, well, I emailed it to you. And he was like, well, then we'll just take care of this right now. Why don't you just go ahead and sit right there? Yes, sir. And he did. And then literally like 3 days later, I got everything I needed from HR. I went and I peed in a cup. And then like the next Monday, I was in orientation. And that was about, that was the 24th of July that I was, went to orientation. And I was officially considered hired on. Wednesday before that. So, so technically, I have been working for, for my company officially for a month. Now, what's so funny is I barely got done with orientation. I mean, I have people, in front of me that I'm friends with. I have people over here that I'm friends with, and they've gotten used to me. I mean, I'm the type who walks up to the supervisor and I'm like, hey. Supervisor's like, what can I do for you? I'm like, nothing. I just want to say, hey, and then I go on with whatever it is I'm doing. So this is the type of thing that they're used to from me. And then I get told, that I would be moving to data entry. I'm like, okay. And I figure I've got a week or two. I can absorb this and kind of like slowly get everybody used to it. No. I was moved within 3 days of being told this. As in, my team lead did not know about this at all until the day before it happened. The people around me had no idea. They were even more upset when they discovered that one of their least favorite people who had trained and been hired on and yada, 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 that I trained, and I'm the only person who seems to get along with this person, is taking my spot. Now, I'm just on the other side of the wall for the person who sits in front of me, who normally sits in front of me. And she and I are good friends, and and we Skype and everything else, and we chatter back and forth whenever the phones are quiet. And it has been, I keep having people come up and go, can you please move back over here? We don't hear you anymore. And I'm like, I'm not really talking. They're like, we know, we don't hear you anymore. We don't like her. And it's kind of funny because it seems even the cubicle itself doesn't seem to like this poor girl. Her phones are constantly screwy. Her computer is constantly screwy. Now, I had issues in that corner, but her issues are like times 10 with this whole entire area. I have my issues with how she handles phone calls and things like that. But I'm not a supervisor. I'm data entry. So I'm like making friends with the people over here. And I've still got my friends over there who still like, Skype me or message me. I mean, when are you going to take your break? Things like that. I have got insurance coming to me. Kiddos are still covered. Of course, because of hubby's job situation, because they didn't know whether he had quit or he was fired, they couldn't get this information. They went ahead and treated it like he quit, which he did. If you want to get technical. So we have been punished by food stamps being taken away. And of course, I didn't think anything of it when I applied for my children for their school, for lunches and stuff. I just plugged it in, didn't think anything about it. I'm like, oh shoot, wait, that case isn't running anymore. Well, it seems that as far as they're concerned, it is, because my youngest is going to be getting, like free lunch. So I might actually have to call them and go, wait a second, hubby's going to be making this and I'm going to be making this. I'm perfectly willing to, take reduced if I can, but I'm perfectly willing to pay for their meals if that's what I need to do. But that's neither here nor there. So poor hubby thought he had a job in the bag. It didn't pan out. It turns out that was not so. Tried for 2 or 3 jobs. It should have been, a no-brainer. They have it advertised right there if they want somebody. He's got the sheet that says he has absolutely everything they need. Yeah, they never bothered to call back anything. It was a bit of a joke. He went to one place, only to discover that basically he'd be getting paid $12 an hour for a $22 an hour job, because he's doing about 5 different jobs, and 3 of them are inherently dangerous. And he is specifically told in the videos that he's not going to be doing them, even as he's being casually informed that it's exactly what they plan on him to do. So yeah, he lasted approximately a day. And that when I told him, I'm like, yeah, no, we'll find something else. Well, 2 girls at my work, both of whom are like super, super sweet and I just adore to pieces, have been having trouble getting hired on. One of them has a small one, and sometimes it's just really hard to find a babysitter. And the other one has a lot of medical issues. Well, that combined with, I think the boss really isn't that keen on them, has made it really difficult for them to even be considered to be hired on. Well, one of them, the one with the small one, I mean, and she lives right here. This is what kills me. I've made quite a few friends. 2 of them have moved out of here before I even knew they were here. 3 of them live here. And I know she lives just up the street. Well, she mentioned a company that her fiance used to work at, and she was like, he was really happy there, but they did layoffs a couple of years ago, and he was given the option to stay on, but he had other things that he was doing, so he went ahead and he opted to be laid off. But it seems that they are expanding again, and ironically enough, the guy who sits next to me now, his dad helped found some of this company. In fact, this company rents from a lot that he still owns in American Fork. Well, it's just up the road in Payson. It's about 15 miles away, about 15 minutes. I'm not really happy because, you know, little girl's thermostat needs to be changed, but hopefully we'll be able to take care of that soon. But he went and he did everything he was supposed to do. There were a couple things that he was surprised that they were like, yeah, I mean, everything's cool. And he was like, seriously? Okay. But they seemed really super excited. Now, it's a temporary company that hires specifically for this company, and that's all they do. You have the option of becoming permanent once you've proven what you can do, and that can actually happen pretty quickly. So he was told, and this is where it's just like yesterday was just it was a bad day. I mean, Thursday, Friday was when, you know, he got the job. So he was told to come in on Sunday night, and they'd meet him at, you know, around 10:50, and he already planned to be there around 10:30. Well, he was told he had to get a welding helmet. Not a problem. We have one down in the garage we can't access, but no problem. We've got one, except we can't access it. Not an issue. I mean, we're tight. We're going to be able to make rent, but probably just rent. So you will see me doing a GFM campaign. We'll be able to just make rent. How terrible is that? But we were like, it's not a big issue. Welding helmets are anywhere from like $30-$40. He wasn't very happy at the idea. He was like, I'll check out the prices and everything, and if it's, you know, if it's $30-$40, okay. If it's over $40, he was like, I'd rather just go ahead and get the key to the garage. This is when things started to really go downhill. He thought he had a little bit of time. So, you know, Saturday he was kind of looking around online, and then Sunday he's like, okay, well, I'll just go ahead and I'll get it. No, you won't. Goes to Walmart, they don't have anything like that. They offer it online, but they don't actually carry it in store. Lowe's, Home Depot, they had welding helmets, but the Eclipse. We could not find a welding helmet anywhere, and some of the places where we might have been able to find one are closed because it's Sunday. We live in LDS territory, Mormon territory, so they take their Sundays very seriously. I take their Sundays very seriously. Sunday morning's the best time for me to go and do anything because it is completely dead. Nobody's going to be in my way. I can do anything on a Sunday morning. It's wonderful. But yeah, so he could not have a welding helmet. Coffee maker has been giving us crap. It doesn't really want to make coffee anymore, and then he doesn't have a welding helmet, and it was just pretty much just off to a rough start. I'm like, well, this has got to be the job. I mean, if it's going to start off this hardcore, it's got to be the job. Sure enough, he shows up yesterday, and he shows up around 10:25. You know, just go ahead, smoke a cigarette, calm your nerves. Let's let's get ready to rock. Let's do this. And he is there until 10:50, 11:03. He sees guys walk by and he's like, okay. Well, he catches some of them coming back out around 11:05, 11:10, smoke a cigarette. And I'm talking on the phone with him at this time. I'm like, are you serious? I'm hoping nothing's happened to the guy who's supposed to meet him, but are you serious? So he flags one of them down. He was like, yeah, you know, my name is, you know, blah, 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 and I'm supposed to be here. And the guy's like, yeah, I'm the one who's supposed to train you. He's like, I'd love to get you in here. And my hubby's like, yeah, I know, but we don't know what paperwork or whatever else needs to be taken care of before I get started. And the guy's like, yeah. And he was like, you know what? Hang on. He was like, I want to make sure that you're right here when I do this. So he called the trailer that's right over here that nobody's in. And he leaves a message. The person I'm talking to you right now is this person. It is now this time. I was here, ready to work. I will be calling you in the morning to find out what happened. So he comes home. He was not in the best mood ever, but he was still in it pretty cheerful because, you know, it's typical. But it's funnier than it usually is. So I get up to go to work, and I might as well have just gotten up at my usual time because I woke up at 6 o'clock when he was going to bed. I woke up at 6 o'clock because he stayed up all night. You know, third shift work, might as well just stay up all night. And I should have just woke up then. I mean, I'd already told my workplace this unfortunately is going to be my new schedule. You know what my workplace said? Okay, whatever, sure. We'll see you around 7:45. Because usually I'm in at 6:45. I'm one of the first people there. But now it's like, you know, today was weird because I was an hour late as far as I was concerned. I made the mistake of going back to bed. That was a mistake. Because I was completely grumpy by the time I left. My whole entire morning felt off because, you know, the sun is up further than it usually is. And I'm walking in with this feeling of I'm missing something because I'm late. It was just weirdness all the way around for me. So today I realized right around 9 o'clock, oh shoot, the eclipse. Now my husband's supposed to call these guys, forgive me, allergy season. My husband's supposed to call these guys and talk with them and find out what the heck happened. And, you know, when he finds out, yes, indeed, you do have a job, he's going to call the office and get into the garage so he can get his welding helmet. So this means, like, you know, $80. I'm not looking forward to this. I already know he has to get a denim shirt, which is probably going to be another $40. I'm not looking forward to that either. So, especially with things as tight as they are, this is what's telling me, okay, yeah, we're going to be able to make rent, but not much else. So you know, around 9 o'clock, I'm like, oh, shoot. Hubby's only been in bed for 3 hours, but a friend of ours had been invited over, and he had, like, crashed. I guess he kept hubby company. In fact, it was the guy who had been living here for a while. Hubby called him over, and he crashed, which he does every now and again, so it's not too bad. And he crashed here because, well, hubby kept him over. So I call hubby and I call him, you know, around 9, and I try again around 9:30, and I try again around 10 because, oh my God, solar eclipse, I have small children. I don't just have small children. I have an 8 and 11-year-old boy who are going to want to run to a window and look up. We don't have eclipse glasses. We don't have any of that. We haven't had time. We just don't have the money. We don't have any of that. So I, like, completely panicked because I'm 39 years old. I know exactly what I want to do now, and I'm 39 years old. I know better. I know exactly what can happen to me, but I still have this great urge to jump up and go look. So imagine how an 8 and 11-year-old boy would handle this. I finally managed to get a hold of our friend. And I'm like, keep the kids there. Keep them there. Keep them there. I can hear him like semi-arguing with the eldest. And I was like, you know what? Put him on the phone. And I promised hellfire and damnation and brimstone all across his butt if he did not stay put. And if he didn't mind his brother. Because if I hear the slightest complaint about my eyes hurt or I have a headache or anything like that, I'm going to start blistering butts. So I got that squared away. Well, around lunchtime, I tell hubby to text me when he wakes up. And I got told that's not a problem. He was already up. And I was like, so you're going to call him after lunch hour? He's like, no. They called me. It turns out that because they're day shifters, they forgot that for night shift, Monday starts Sunday night. They forgot to show up. So they called him like completely freaking, when you have time, go ahead, give us a call. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Oh my God. So that's exactly what he did. He called him and, and it worked out. They went, look, we forgot. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Whatever consequences there are from this, we'll take them. And hubby's like, cool. I just wanted to know exactly what happened. Extra stroke of luck, about an hour or two later, he says that we didn't have to get a key. And I'm like, what do you mean we didn't have to get a key? We have to have a key for the daggone garage. It's a clicker thingy. We don't have that anymore. Well, it turns out the maintenance man opened it. And they went in, they got stuff long enough to get what they needed. And then they closed and had to lock it again. We still need a key, but now we have a little bit more time to actually acquire one, which is nice. So hopefully around that time things will be cooler and we can move things in that garage without, burning up. Tomorrow, or technically, 12 minutes into the day, for me at least, it's already like, 2:12, 3:12 where I came from. I am off. I actually have something interesting called PTO. I have not had PTO since Amazon, and with Amazon, you actually had to have doctor's excuses to use your whole 20 hours of PTO that you got all throughout the year. And if you didn't use it, you still lost it. There was no such thing as vacation. It just didn't happen. Here with my job, I started off with 60 hours of PTO. In 3 months' time, I'll get another 20 because everybody's supposed to have 80 hours of PTO throughout the year. Only 15 of it can roll over, so I better figure out what to do with it. And I will probably go and see a doctor at some point in time with the insurance that I was supposed to tell them to go ahead and push through today, and I forgot to do it. Oh. So I'll probably call tomorrow and get that insurance and get a doctor because I still have that weird knot there that hubby's not very happy about and occasionally gives me shit. But yeah, I have PTO, so I'm off tomorrow. I put down, for hubby's, work starting and for the kiddos going to school, and that's part of it. I don't know what I'm going to do with the rest of it because I have a whole span of hours that has nothing to do with any of that, but I'm pretty sure I can work on the house that I haven't worked on, do some dusting, a little bit of cleaning, which I completely neglected this weekend, and then figure out a way to fill the rest of my day because I'm not going to be working or minding kids all day, which is just super weird to me. So that is the catch-up. That is what has been happening with us. It has been a crazy 6 months and an even crazier month and a half. And what makes it so crazy is the fact that here it is for a whole month and a half and some change. I have been I've been the sole provider. Usually I would be panicking right about now. Things would be going seriously wrong right about now. But even with things as tight as they have been, even with losing our food stamps and prospects for jobs falling apart and uncertainty over whether or not I had a job, and then my job changing around, and then, you know, just times shuffling and the car being problematic and needing to get insurance, with all these things, I had somebody go, gosh, you know, things have been rather rough for you of late. I'm like, no. This isn't rough, baby. This is a bump in the road. If you want rough, let me tell you about my time just 7 months ago, and then you will know what rough truly is. We are doing quite well. We have been extremely blessed. We have to kind of get over this, you know, hump over the next 3 weeks, and we'll be right back to where we want to be, and we will be steadying out like we need. So, like I said, I'll have to do a GFM. Not really looking forward to it. I was hoping I'd never have to do anything like that again. But it'll get us through just that much further. I'm just hoping it'll be one of the last ones, if not forever, at least for a very, very long time. You guys have been so uber patient. I have missed you all so much. And I miss commenting, and I miss answering your comments. I just miss you guys. So I wanted to make sure at least I did a bit so you can see my face. Know that I am still alive. This is my face. I wanted you to see me. No, I'm still alive. I'm still actually doing quite well, despite this latest bump with a slight hitch. But things are going better than we could have ever dreamed, better than we could have ever hoped. I have found a workplace that I absolutely adore. I'm hoping that this is a workplace that hubby will adore, because that would just be icing. It really would. We still have a lot of plans and hopes and dreams over the next couple of years, and I'm hoping that I get to share those with you more. So I'm not going to make any promises, because that never works out well for me, but I am hoping to see more of you guys and to be posting more, especially now that I've crammed so much into, 32 minutes, and it'll probably be 34 before I'm done with this. Well, hopefully not. Thank you again for listening to me ramble. Thank you again for being just the marvelous and wonderful people you always are. I have missed you like mad, and I have cherished every moment I've been able to grab just to sit down and read your posts and keep up with you, and occasionally comment whenever time allows for it. But until I post again, take good care of yourselves, take good care of each other. Know I'm still around, and I love you guys.